One of my favorite types of channels are the deep dive channels on YouTube. The ones that really dig deep into niche or just whatever type of topic and scratch that curiosity itch. And there are tons of these on YouTube, ranging in length from a 10-minute quick hit of information to a 2 or 3 hour long documentary. And I want to bring you through my top 10 favorite deep dive YouTube channels and shout out some of the best that you should check out right now. One of my favorites is Fern. These guys do videos kind of on the shorter side, anywhere from 8 to 25 minutes, and they tend to deep dive into kind of dark topics around the CIA, politics, but also some other interesting ones as well, not just around crime, but around new oceans forming and different things like that. It is a brilliantly put together channel that uses a lot of animation and graphics to tell stories that would otherwise be quite difficult to tell without interviews, and the voice for this is really good too. It is one of those faceless YouTube channels that I'm not usually a big fan of, but this one is done very, very well and with a lot of care and attention taken. And clearly other people think so as well, as they've managed to amass a huge audience of 2.1 million people. And it's one I think you should definitely check out if you're into the niche of kind of secrets and the dark side of things and understanding crime, intelligence agencies, that sort of thing. Wendover Productions is one of the daddies of this space, and they have grown with YouTube over time. I remember when this channel focused primarily on 4 to 10 minute videos, and it's gotten more and more serious, higher production values, but not lost the essence of what made it Wendover. Obviously, the narrator behind it, another kind of faceless channel, has stayed the same throughout and actually has gone on to create a ton of other channels as well, as far as I remember. But Wendover dives deep into a variety of subjects. And what makes it such an interesting place to scratch that curiosity itch is that it doesn't always focus on a similar topic. There's a lot of geopolitics, a lot of mapping, but you can also find some silly and surreal answers to questions that you just never asked. And that's why it's just one of those channels that, for me, whenever a new video from them pops up, I have to click it and find out the answer to the question that is being posed or the fact that is being presented. Of course, one of the real daddies of the deep dive space in YouTube is, of course, Veritasium. This is a huge channel which I think has around 16 plus million subscribers, which focuses on science and answering questions in the science field. Their tagline being an element of truth, and even the logo and the banner is all about chemicals. So it is just a channel that is deeply rooted in science, and if you're into scientific questions, theories, materials, that sort of things, and just getting a deep dive into those subjects, then this is one that you're not going to want to miss out on. The production values over the years have gotten better and better and better, and honestly, it is one of those ones where, again, like Wendover, whenever I see it pop up, I need to click it to find out what's going on. I have missed a few more of these recently because just some of them have gotten quite long. I think their last videos were like 36, 37 minutes. So sometimes you're just not in the mood to sit down for that long a period of time. But they are doing more and more high-end in the field reporting as well. So definitely want to check out if you're interested in scientific deep dives. And if you're a YouTuber yourself, then you're going to like this ad break. And if you're not, then you should probably skip it. VidStew, which is literally what this channel is built around, is a platform built for YouTubers by YouTubers, and we've just recently upgraded our thumbnail tool to make something where you can test your thumbnails and titles right on YouTube, or at least as close to it as you can get. It will put your video randomly amongst a group of other real high-performing videos on YouTube and allow you to see what it looks like in light mode, dark mode, mobile, desktop, and you can do all of this completely free. The cool thing about VidStew is you can sign up and use it for as long as you want for free, and you only need to upgrade when you need more of the pro features. On top of that, if you want to try the basics of this new thumbnail tool, you don't even need to sign up. There's a link specifically in the description to use that. So if you are a YouTuber and you're finding it difficult to get your processes and systems in order, then you should head over to vidstew.com right now, or the Thumbnail Creator, both of which are in the link in the description below, and see what your thumbnails look like and why they are performing, or if they're not, if they are good enough to perform in the new thumbnail tool. a brilliant deep dive channel that has gotten a lot of attention with around 5 million subscribers, but I genuinely still think it may be underrated, is Lemmino. Lemmino is known for its deep, long form analytical approaches to a variety of topics, makes beautiful graphics, beautiful thumbnails, and just really dives in. And they've done things on manuscripts and the Deutlev Pass. I know I'm getting that completely wrong or not saying it correctly at all, but the point is they go into really deep analytical data with beautiful graphics, high production quality, and for 30 to 60 minutes, they go into a range of topics, many of which you would never have heard of before, but some of which you will. And what I love about Lemmino is that they tend to take their own unique angle on it. It's real kind of what YouTube is all about. It's to kind of make that stamp at where the topic does a lot of the heavy lifting. For example, last week they did a video about the JFK assassination, but they did something talking specifically about all of the evidence around the book depository. I'm sure it's a controversial one in itself, but just taking that angle of looking at Oswald and the book depository and everything that happened on that particular day in that particular building is a real deep dive to find things that you probably haven't seen before, even in a topic that has been so widely covered. So Lemmino is definitely a channel that I think if you're into deep dives, you're not going to want to miss. One that has absolutely shot onto the stage in only a year, 18 months now, is Cleo Abram. Cleo Abram, like Johnny Harris and a few other creators, Phil Edwards, for example, another deep dive creator on YouTube, have come from Vox and Vice, I believe, as their background. They're kind of fleeing those channels to make their own. But Cleo Abram has taken a unique approach that I really, really love. And clearly other people love it as well, as she's gotten to 3.9 million subscribers in such a short space of time. And what she's really done is created a show on YouTube. I think that's what works so well here. It's called Huge If True. And basically the whole point of it is to look at technology that is coming in the near future, or technology that exists, in a positive and optimistic light. So while a lot of people are talking about AI in a very, dreadful situation of, oh, it's going to end civilization as we know it, she looks at it from the angle of how could this help humanity? And it's a great way to kind of pick you up. And she only does kind of one video a month, but they are so well researched, so highly produced. And she is fantastic at kind of giving the background and having a nice, approachable feel to these videos, as well as clearly being a very knowledgeable and just brilliant journalist. So Cleo Abram, definitely a channel I would check out if you haven't already. Another channel that kind of reminds me of if Wendover did geopolitics and technology kind of in depth is Polymatter. They do kind of talk about kind of business, technology, geopolitics, but done really, really well in relatively long form videos. They're always at least kind of 20 minutes up to kind of 30 minutes. It's that nice kind of bite-sized, I can watch something over breakfast channel. And it's done with one narrator, graphs, graphics, and just not massively high production value like other videos on this channel, but enough to keep you engaged, give you the facts you want, and just give you a good answer to a question that is being posed. Their thumbnails and titles are spectacular. If you're a YouTuber and you're coming from the angle of trying to find inspiration, Polymatter is definitely one that I would look at. In fact, this is not meant to be a dig, but I would say their thumbnails and titles are exceeding their video production values, and a lot of the time that is completely the other way around with these channels. But yeah, Polymatter, a brilliant channel, and I would say definitely one worth checking out. Clearly popular with 1.9 million subscribers already. All the ones on this channel, by the way, are kind of bigger subscribers. I would love if you let me know in the description below if there's any smaller ones in this niche that you think I should check out. That would be brilliant. Speaking of business deep divers, Magnates Media is one that I absolutely love. And this one isn't going to be for everybody, but if you love in-depth stories about business figures and businesses like Domino's, like Apple, just a ton of different businesses, especially some very niche ones that you may not have really thought about in these terms as like being an inspirational business or having a dark side to it, like the dark side of Domino's or Coca-Cola, for example. Magnates Media does brilliant videos on all of this, and they can be from 30 to 60 minutes. Very, very in-depth. And what I like about Magnates Media is that they've chosen a very unique style and unique graphics, and they've just ran with it. So that's why I said it's not going to be to everybody's taste, because some of the way that they produce things and design things is just going to kind of annoy some people or get tiring to some people. But if you like it, you will love it. And they are just getting better and better over the years. In fact, that is another channel like Wendover that's been around a while and has very much gone from short videos to very, very long videos. And they've just gotten better and better in terms of production. So I definitely check that out. And they've got 1.6 million followers as well. James Jani is a relatively new one and relatively low volume producer. James Jani was the inspiration for me for starting my own channel as well in this kind of deep dive niche. But James Jani has amassed 2 million plus followers now and started out doing stuff around cults and kind of scams and money, and then moved kind of into the cryptocurrency space for a little while, not obviously selling crypto, but being a bit doubtful of crypto. But then last year, James decided to go and make a full-length documentary, and it was seeing that perform on YouTube the way it did that made me think this could be a really good idea. And it was a brilliant documentary, a really in-depth look at Sam Bankman-Fried and FTX, and he has followed that up now after 9 months of not having a single video, with one about GameStop and Bed Bath & Beyond, and they are brilliantly done documentaries. It looks like he's going to be doing less and less in terms of volume and higher in terms of quality. But if you like that sort of thing, James Jani is just brilliant, and you should definitely check him out. Search Party is another one that is relatively new. I think only around a year old, but already getting up to 500,000 subscribers if it hasn't already passed it. This is also put together by, I think, the production company that Johnny Harris has built. So it's in that very similar kind of Vox Vice style of video. And if you like that, then you're going to love Search Party. But what makes it unique is that while it does cover geopolitics and some interesting kind of political topics, and they had some great stuff around the World Cup in Qatar. So if you like kind of Vox stuff and you love sports, then Search Party is going to be one that I think you will be absolutely obsessed with. Production quality is high, again, very Vox Johnny Harris style, but with its own unique twist, and I really like it. And finally, at the absolute top of my list, my favorite deep dive creator, and another inspiration for me starting, and one that I find that I just obsessively watch the videos the moment they're out. In fact, they're out most Thursdays now, and it's almost like a TV show for me. When I wake up on Thursday, I think to myself, oh, new Johnny Harris video's out. Johnny Harris is absolutely epic, gave it away there, but obviously gained 5.5 million subscribers since leaving Vox. The guy has won an Emmy. I think they have 20 people working there now, and the production quality just gets better and better and better. And what I like about Johnny Harris is, even if, for example, when it comes to his politics, you aren't on his side, he tries to kind of give a proper unbiased report. Like, for example, recently he talked about Kamala Harris and Donald Trump, neither of which I liked as candidates. Not Americans, so it doesn't directly affect, but American politics affects everyone, unfortunately. But what I liked about that was clearly he was definitely favorable towards Kamala Harris, but he didn't let that take away from doing in-depth reporting journalism. And I think sometimes he may rub people up the wrong way, because he will just say, look, there is no real evidence for this that would hold up in court or in a science lab. And that will offend some people, but I just love it. It is a proper in-depth look into a variety of topics, from the Israel-Gaza conflict to why McDonald's ice cream machines aren't working. And it's proper old school, just journalism, and the sources are included, and you can disagree, but it's done so well. That is one of my favorite channels, I have to say, and one that has really made me want to just up my quality in everything. So that is my list. But before you go, don't forget to check out VidStew and subscribe.